Hey everybody, this is Abong Eka. Thank you for watching this. If you're watching this live, I appreciate you. More importantly, I want to share a message with you guys quickly today. I'm starting to do a lot more YouTube live actually, and this is actually it's pretty good. I'm here in my home office, and I'll tell you about myself in a second. But I'm here in my home office, and I want to share a quick message with you today. So I'm going to introduce myself, then I'm going to go into the message and explain exactly what we're talking about today. But simply put, my name is Abong Eka. If you're watching this live, if you're not watching this live, that's even great here. I'm glad you're here. My name is Abong Eka. Besides being an international best-selling author of Start Me Up, the No Business Plan, I'm also the founder of Economics, Economics, economics.com, and the Economics Academy. And we work with entrepreneurs across the world to show them how to get clarity in 4 areas of their life and business so that they can actually maximize and increase their profits. First, we give them clarity in their products and services, clarity in their pricing, and show them how to raise their prices, how we've been able to help people raise their prices by 50 to 100%. We show you how to get clarity in the process that you need to have in order to have a fully functioning business. And finally, I share with you clarity in how to find clients and customers that want to work with you and do business with you. Now, in today's message, this is more along the lines of life and guarding yourself and creating sort of like a mental and emotional fence around your castle, right? Back in the medieval times, the best castles that are easily defended were either on cliffs or they had moats around them. Why? Because it kept out the people who may try to storm the castle. It made it harder for you to try and storm the castle. It is hard for a regular person to climb, to ascend a cliff, to try and pillage and rape the women of a big castle. It's hard to get across the moat to get to the castle to bring your battering rams and lots of people. So it was difficult. And you need to do the same thing with your mind. Now, here's a message today. You choose. This is the choice that you need to make in your life and in your business. And every single successful person that I've ever met and spent time with, including myself, does this to some degree. And the people who struggle through life and languish through life don't do this. And they're moved by the emotion like a little pebble in the ocean, right? The little pebble in the ocean or cork in the ocean has no say as to what happens to it. The water moves it about. The wind can toss it about. It can sink. It can rise. It can do whatever it wants. You are at the mercy of somebody else. You're at the mercy of the ocean. You're at the mercy of the elements. You're at the mercy of every other thing except yourself. And the people who live an amazing life do not allow themselves, for the most part, to be at the mercy of others. Others' emotions, others' bullshit problems, drama, all that stuff. So you got to create a moat, right? Or an emotional mental fence. So here's the thing. You have a choice in who you want to communicate with. You have a choice in who you want to spend your time in your life with. You can go on Facebook or go on YouTube or go on Instagram. You can see the people and what kind of person you can see what kind of person and where they're oscillating their mindset is based on the comments they leave, the kind of content they share. A lot of times it's like BS content, people complaining, whining, saying mean things to other people. And when you go to their account is private, so you can't even see what kind of life they're living because they're not comfortable. They want to hide. The kind of person who wants to say something negative to you, then when you go to their account, they either block you or they have it on private. Why? Because they're ashamed of themselves. They're ashamed of their lives. They're worried about things happening that aren't going to be there. They make up a story as to people are going to follow me and all this stuff, but nobody cares about you. There are hundreds of millions of people on Instagram, billions of people on Facebook. Who cares? You're not important enough for someone to spend their time talking to you. And so too often we waste our time with these kinds of things rather than spending our time building our emotional fence, building our spiritual fence, building our physical fence to get the kind of people out who bring negativity, who bring bad things into your life that affect your peace of mind, that cause you anxiety. Now, you have a say in how you communicate and who you want to communicate with, who you want to spend your time with. You can spend your time with people who always have bad things happening to them. They're unfortunate. They're unlucky. There's always some negative stuff. They're complaining about a Kardashian. They're complaining about something they saw on television. But when you look at their lives, they're never where they want to be. They have an excuse or a reason for it. Now, some of you are going to watch this and say, but Abong, isn't it my responsibility to help? No, it's not. Who gave you that mission? Why did you think it was your responsibility? Now, some people may say that's my responsibility, and that's fine. But the people who believe it's their responsibility, they're not going to complain about it. And they're not going to allow themselves to be a victim to others' emotional and physical nonsense. So if you want to live an amazing life, I know a lot of people come on YouTube, on Facebook, and online and everything else talking motivation, talking about hustle, talking about all this stuff. That's great. I have no problem about any of them. The things that I share with you guys every single time you see a new video is because of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I think it's important to me. But I want to remind you something that's really important. Your ability to live an amazing life is predicated, right? Which is a fancy word for it depends on how you spend your time. It depends on how you spend your energy and your resources. If you're spending your energy and your resources following gossip, talking to people about negative stuff, wasting your time with things that aren't important, being moved about like a loose leaf in the wind, or a seashell in the ocean, and then you wonder why you're never where you want to be, you're not in control of yourself and your life. I choose what information I want to absorb. When somebody I know calls me with negativity, and it's not something that has something to do with something important, I cut it off real quick. I'm not talking about bad news. Someone calls you with bad news, that's bad news. That's happening to them. It's your responsibility as a friend to be there, or a family member. I'm talking about the person who calls you, family member or friend, who's saying just negative things. Oh, did you hear about Mrs. Smith? Or did you hear about Mr. Johnson? I don't care about what those people are doing. It's irrelevant to me. What's important to me is, what am I doing to make people's lives better while I'm on this planet? See, the funny thing is, I just heard some news that a friend of mine died recently, a couple weeks ago. The guy was like 34, 33 years old. I don't know how he died. He had some suspicious circumstances. May have been natural causes, but I don't think he was sick. The things you don't know. So the point of me bringing that up is this. When you know you're going to die, and you understand the importance of that and the urgency of it, the things you spend your time with, the things you spend your time on, how you see the world, the perspective you have tends to be different than somebody who thinks they have hundreds of years left on this planet to waste. I feel like I don't have time. And I don't say that in a negative way. I just say that in a realistic way, in the sense that it can happen to anybody. So if that's the case, I want to have joy as much as I possibly can. Every single morning, I want to wake up happy, despite my circumstances. I'm not the person that's going to be a loose leaf in the wind or a pebble in the ocean. When something bad is happening, am I keeping my head? Am I losing my head like everybody else? Am I running around in circles? A lot of times when you see these mass shootings or these mass catastrophes or even earthquakes or anything else, a lot of people don't die from the initial event. They die from being trampled by other people running around in circles who have no direction, have no idea where they're going. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. That's just the way it is. So when a lot of people get hurt when people are together in a big space and something bad happens, whether it's natural, whether it's someone trying to do a terrorist thing or whatever it is, a lot of people get hurt, injured, maimed, and in many cases killed because they're trampling each other and they're just running around like rats in a cage. They're not in a place where they can make a decision that can save their life and save the lives of other people. So you can apply that same concept to other parts of your life, including the people you let in your life. You choose who you want to communicate with. You choose who you allow inside your castle. Too many people are opening up the drawbridge, putting up a ramp, and letting people come in with negativity and disease and pestilence. And you're wondering why everybody in your castle is dying. Your dreams, your goals, your visions, your happiness, your peace, and your anxiety is lifting. You wonder why. A lot of people just say, well, that's just the way the world is. No, it's not. The people I spend my time with, they have tremendous amounts of joy. And if they're in a situation that's not giving them joy, they get out. Why? Because they understand the importance of time, the urgency of time, the importance of peace of mind, and the ability to focus on things that are important so they can bring and share their values with the world. That is the goal I want for you guys who are watching this. I want to thank you. This is one of my my daily videos, and I'm gonna try to do one every single day, small or big or large, however I can, to start adding more content. Now with the YouTube Live makes it easier. I don't have to put space on my phone and do all this other stuff and render it. I can just do this automatically live, depending on where I am. My goal today was this: was to show you, to give, for lack of a better term, I want to give you permission to live. I want to give you permission to choose who you want in your life. I want to give you permission to choose the people you communicate with. And those who bring negativity and positivity into your life. Start seeking those with positive experiences, not the ones who are unlucky and unfortunate, complaining, the whiners, gripers, moaners, the people who have nothing of value but except complaint and telling you scuttlebutt or they're telling you rumors about what's going on in so-and-so's life. Everybody has a friend or two like that. And as your mind starts to become enlightened and awaken and have a sense of awareness, and you're moving up the ladder of greatness to work to your particular greatness, the likelihood of you wanting to spend time with somebody who's focused on such trivial things starts to dwindle to the point where you don't have time for them anymore. Now, I had a question once from somebody who said, "Hey, Bong, what do I do if I have to help somebody and they're negative and should I just have a conversation with them?" I said, no. When you know what's in your best interest, you'll start being around people who fit that mold. So what ends up happening is they just slowly end up being replaced. So you'll find somebody who brings you happiness and peace and joy, who wants to do cool things, who wants to talk about important things, who wants to, maybe help you with your business, with your life, and give you advice and give you pointers. You're not gonna feel comfortable having time for somebody who texts you with negative bullshit. You're not gonna have time to talk to somebody who texts you or calls you with negative gossip or some problem that's happening to them, or every single week there's some drama, or they're in a relationship that they know they shouldn't be in, but they constantly go back and they keep asking why this is happening to them. At some point in time, you have to cut that off and move on with your life and they have to figure out themselves. It's like when the famous examples, when you're on an airplane and the mask comes, you got to put yours on first before you can help somebody else. In many cases, when you're a lifeguard and you're trying to save somebody who's just kicking around, a lot of times the person who's drowning will drown the other lifeguard if he or she is not careful. The same thing happens in life, my friends, with anxiety, worry, regret, just negative emotions. Things are bogging you down. Problems and mistakes that you have your own problems. It's not your responsibility to drag somebody else's with you. So, with that said, do me a favor, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you like my message, if you like my video, if there's anything else that you want, please click the subscribe button around here. Share this with your friends and followers. If you have a question, or I answer all the comments. I read them and I answer them. So if you have something you want me to talk about, something specific that's to you, ask me the question, send me a message. I'll create a video just for you in response, and hopefully can help everyone else. All right? I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your week.